And the lovely hot tamale.
It's the missing element.
Say what you did there.
He is the fourth element. He is no longer the fifth element.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, did everybody see Joe walk in here with a scarf?
Yeah.
Did you hear that long, lonesome?
I didn't hear that. That's only
Aren't you glad I didn't do it that on the mic? Seriously.
What was that?
What? Did it hit?
And please don't do it again.
Okay. All right. Well, should we start the show, Element 615, now that you have lately come to the stage? All right, you are about to witness the best, the baddest open mic in the ATX, spoken and heard live every Sunday night at Kick Butt Coffee, Music, and Booze. This is not just an open mic. This is not just an ordinary coffee bar. We have a full bar. Oh my God, that cocoa's already getting to me. Hello, can you say spiked cocoa? Sure you can.
Spiked cocoa. I always thought this was an open mic.
Engineer humor. Heart. Okay, so if you want to come up to the mic and strut your stuff, come over to Element 615, who's trying his hard not to pee his pants.
I was like,
Lost in thought in his ever so debonair lace-up sweater.
Ernie told
and
me.
he doesn't wear a jacket.
I like the way Ernie engineered that joke.
You like that?
Or
laughing at that?
me, Hot Tamale, or Ernie B behind the soundboard. Go over to Ernie B just so he can say,
Don't bother me.
give him a nice creepy pedo bear hug. He just finished having a gig last... Is it over yet?
Don't do it.
Okay.
We'd like to take this time out that we had spoken and heard, as well as Kick Butt Coffee, do not in any way advocate creepy hugs. We don't advocate this hug that's happening right now. Oh my God, this is very CBS. What's happening right now? Get off of me!
Just count to 10 and wait for it to be over. Don't worry.
That's like a game show. How long can you take a creepy hug from Mike?
Joe.
From Lost in Thought before you lose it. And how they'll put those counters up. How long does it take before you lose it?
Yeah, my mind is still happening.
It's like what those senators say. If you block it out, your body has ways of rejecting that creepy hug.
It's a special place in hell for that senator.
Yes.
There it is.
Okay, so, and don't forget about the drink specials. Honestly, if you really want a cold drink, go right ahead, which they are Bloody Mary, Mimosa, and the IPA, all $3.
I had a cold drink.
But, yeah, because you're not from this planet. But I highly recommend the drink that I just finished coming up with, well, a couple weeks ago, but Alex finally gave it birth. It is hot cocoa, Fireball whiskey, and Bailey's Irish cream. It is delicious. And yes, I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to twist my words, but I digress.
Alex gave me a drink that had emergency in it. It was very good, Alex. Thank you.
Yeah. You need to crush up some Xanax in his, seriously. Stir it up in there and go, here, let's see if this works. Hopefully, it won't work.
And next up...
No, you won't pass out. You might normalize.
Really?
Right, Element?
Joe doesn't look like he really wants to be here right now.
I'm defrosting.
He's defrosting. Okay, so are you starting it out? Lost in thought?
You told me I would.
No.
You're starting the show.
Actually,
know that I would.
I didn't tell you. I commanded you. So, take it away. Bitch.
Wow. And I love you too. Your lovely little pet names. Alright, now the whore's off the stage. Okay. So, no better time than the present to start. So I'm going to start right away, right now,
Since we're late.
We are late.
No, that's our fault. It took a long time to set up. Sorry, guys.
More times. Okay, starting right now, we have Thom Moon and company.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, and grateful I am that you are receiving. This signal involves every one of us, so if you have an instrument, please use it. I'm talking about your mouth. I'm talking about your mind. I'm talking about your imagination. Because you've got your camera in your hand, this will get outside this room. It's a well-kept secret for the consenting individuals inside us. That's all of us. So, let's start. If we haven't started before, we're going to start right now. No excuses, please, about the weather disease. I'm not coughing. Ain't got no allergies, no. I'm here because of the warmth of your glow, you know? That's right. The equation says that we are human enough to welcome each other within our common vibration, and if we don't, well, we may as well be outside in the snow. No joke! I'm not just freezing outside to prove a point. No, it may be a Sunday night. This joint will rock with your own words. Everything you've ever heard. Just a preface to the book of winter. They say tomorrow will be a freeze out, but tonight you're warm inside. Beautiful home here at Kick Butt. That's right, wave your arms if you have them. Kick your legs up in the air. What else can we do to show that we are really here? They say body proves everything. Everything's inside of us and around us. Just vibrations sent out like communications of love. Dare I use that four-letter word in a world that seems to have full of hate and fear? I say that it proves that you are here. Is that you're conscious, yes? Oh yes. Response ability. Ability to respond. If we can respond to the world outside, inside of us, then we might find that treasure chest was never hidden from the rest of us. It's all being us. Vibrations inside of us. Our heartbeat and our pulse are hidden. Orchestras for sure. And every time we find an antidote to war with harmonies inside. For sure you say, I want to play. But I want to play with words and consciousness. I don't want to play with drones and bombs. I don't. These are the only arms I have. And look, they're open and free and flowing. Well, the night, of course, is like a book of air that's open at the page where you are now. And I will hope that all of us will survive it all. Whether you need drinks from the counter there or drink your consciousness up here. Open is a four-letter word, and Mike, I'm sure that you have heard these words before. Welcome you all into the Kick Butt vibrating. Well, that's your invitation. Now your liberation comes through inner proclamation. Make your own emancipation. It doesn't need to rhyme, it's a free verse time. Come on, share your heart and mind. The night begins, and we shall see what the vibrating will bring this evening. Sing.
That was Thom and Johnny Feelgood. And lest I forget, tonight, also, ladies and gentlemen, sitting among us, we have a feature.
No! Who's our feature?
Are you waiting with bated breath?
My breath is baited. Who is it?
With like an earthworm or something?
As long as it's not onion breath. Who is it?
Well, it is.
Drum roll, please. It is... Quit drumming and talk.
Mercy Ians!
Straight out of Compton. No, straight out of Wisconsin. It is Wisconsin, right? Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. See, we and I think actually we're colder than Wisconsin right now.
Are we?
Yes. She came in going, "What the heck, Texas?" She had to go to the store and stock up.
I want my money back.
Yeah.
You know, I went to Chicago.
Uh-oh, a Chicago story.
To go see a blues band. You know, because Chicago's real big for the blues.
Of course it is.
And, you know, there's these guys in there. There's 3 black guys and a white guy up there playing, and they got their eyes closed. They're jamming. They're getting down. Then I noticed the white guy peeking. I got my money back.
Engineer humor.
Anyway.
Okay. Marcy, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to have you here.
I'm gonna get that later.
Forgive Ernie B. He doesn't get out much. All right.
Hey, that was funny. Damn it.
Yeah, right.
You don't peek on the blues. You can't open your eyes. Have your eyes closed.
I'm still trying to piece.
And the white guy was peeking. You get it? He was peeking at his guitar.
Everybody else had their eyes closed and the white guy was going like this.
Because they're all jamming, getting down, you know, and the white guy was peeking.
Yeah,
Coming up next, we have
he doesn't know who Stevie Ray Vaughan is. Come here.
right behind me. We have.
Hey! Stop peeking!
No peeking.
Huh?
Inverse Medusa.
Okay. Oh, new name. We have Inverse Medusa.
Thank you. New shit? Yeah! Alright, yeah. So, this is a song about living in a garage.
I can relate.
Wait, hang on. What the fuck? Oh, there it is. Alright, let's see. I think maybe that might be loud enough. Let's see. Living a shotgun to blow your mind. You can do it when it's drawing a line. You can take a trip or two. Don't know where I don't know. Riding it straight in a row. No one ever me and you. No, it's wrong. And I'm afraid you borrowed time from the place where time stands still. Stand still. Dedicated to tell the gods the truth. There's already a dancer in the front of you, throwing drifts of smoke at you, giving life to you. Give the gun, although we get good. All the life and creation's good. Have told you to kill, so take your time in the place where time stands still. Stand still. Da 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 da. Just say me, you know who I am. A pair of eyes planted in the sand. Lost in a big can't on no lines. Left with an image of left with no hands. And found it in the ley lines. Oh, I can't rewind. They say this time we kill, so take your time in the place where time stands still. Stand still. Da 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 Is there more time, or is it no? Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Hey, try the other new song. It's some of you may have heard it already because I played it last week. We played it last week, and you'll hear it again or you'll hear it for the first time. All right. I guess I'll leave it up here. You know, this is kind of one of those songs. All right. Just breathe, remember how to breathe. One, two, three, and 1, 2, 3. With the magic 3. Breathe, just breathe. Remember how to breathe. I will watch me run from me. Run forest and breathe, just breathe. We'll be in San City. You, this is you, this is me, this is my philosophy. Killing it slowly, killing it slowly. I will watch never free of the magic thing. One will run, one must chase, one is sending in place. Lost inside what's just a teach me magic thing. I will watch me run from me, run forest and far away. Time lost in space, nuclear fallout, all sounds horrid. All of the safety, where am I going? I will catch this and the face, bring it back to San City. 1, 2, 3, natural rhythms, keeps on beats. Remember that I love you, as you follow blue. The first came over the heart where the residents follow with flies. They shame my eyes with leaves and lines, and then they took to the skies. No, go, run from the killers, we're coming for you. Perfect to dancing in those skies above. Orange and furry, but left out low. Yellow's the color of the animal follows like Tweety Boy's teeth in his cheeks at all. The great machine is following me. The great machine, I'm running out shit. Nothing me is making a me. It's wisdom receipt. Oh, baby's a freak. We want 62, bring me tricky boy blue. We want 62, bring me tricky boy blue. We want 62, bring me tricky. Run tricky boy freaky. We want 62, bring me tricky boy. Run tricky boy freaky. Oh, I will watch me run from me, run forest and far away. I will watch me run from me, run forest and far away. I will watch me run from me, run forest and far away. Run far away, run far away, run far away, run far away.
Inverse Medusa.
Wow, I would have never remembered that.
Somehow I did.
Incredible.
But then again, I am from another planet.
This is true.
Hey, you come from the same planet as me?
I think we're neighboring.
You're right. You're right, yeah.
Okay, wait, I get it. Peeking is with guitar, right?
Peeking, like looking, like
Opening an eye.
opening your eyes, peeking. Peekaboo, you know?
Why is that so
No,
funny?
he's
though?
not tweaking.
Huh?
I'll explain it to you later.
It's okay.
And I know it's the white guy twerking.
I can always call Dianna. Up next, So up next, we actually have a Bo that hasn't been here in a while, in a very long while.
I'll get the cord.
And he just came in from the cold.
Don't worry, I'm a professional.
Coming up to our
I do this for a
stage.
living.
Coming up to our stage, we have Blue Jay.
How y'all doing out there, man? So, I'm Blue Jay from Austin's Hip Hop Project, The Cypher. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that. Y'all should definitely go look it up. It's a nice, good, conscious hip hop group. Swing thing. Anyway, I rap, do poetry, all that, so I'm gonna spit a quick piece for y'all. Bear with me, I ain't done this in a while. Every day is a struggle, I wrestle and strain. Destined for pain, receiving blessings is strange. The stress on my brain is testing my sane. Suppressing my pain, expecting the gain. But every day it's getting harder to maintain. I guess it's all a part of the game. The same thing another day, but it start with brain. Dang. How can I live when my heart is in flames? Pain, patience, and perseverance like they one in the same game. Just to lose it or I'm losing the game. Hang from a noose to get used to this pain. Bang, as the bullet shoots and it chews to my brains. Hang, blood drips when I'm gone. Will they mention my name? Will take a trip to my grave? Am I wrong just to think they won't miss me at all? I give and I give, but while I live, all I'm getting is pain. And it's a shame when the choices that you choose and you make won't give you a break. And breaking seems to be the only option to take. But hey, let's get back to this pain. Cause I talk about pain so much, I found myself in this poem. I talk about rain so much, I found myself in the storm. Surrounded by a hurricane, so much is going on. Stuck in the middle when so much is going wrong. Relationships blowing the wind, I soak it up and move along. Suck it up and move on, still calm. In the eye of the storm, I open my eyes and realize that I am the storm. And I am as strong as categories can get. Statutory is fixed on bricks, tables, and fists, and I'm tired. Cause I've stormed for many years. But I hurricane for 90 days. My life brings constant hell. Fire, my tears flow in tsunamis cause I'm so tired of hurting in this whole trying shit ain't working. And I'm feeling like dying might be worth it, but my strength come from the skies. But I'm afraid to pray. Lord, if you get me out of this one, Lord, I promise I'm gonna quit smoking. Yeah, fuck it, let me hit that. Get high, sit and I ponder. But maybe that's why when it rains, it thunders. But when will this rain stop? Cause counting my blessings is harder than counting these raindrops. They fall, I never see them all. See, what I see is a boy who grew up in foster care without a call or a letter to spell. See, what I see is a man who sat in jail and you told him his brother died and he felt that everything would be okay because you said you would be there, but that was another lie. And you told him you loved him, but you left him for another guy. So if you see what I see, then you see that all my thoughts and all my visions is pain. Pain can't last forever, so for now, let's get back to this rain. Take a shower for an hour, wash my dick with confidence, then I pick my balls up and get back to this game. Stuck in this cycle, so it's a fact I'm insane because I click, clack, forget. Aim. I sit back, think back. Bang! Cause you told me that you love me, but your love was in vain. What if I blew up off this track? Would your feelings have changed? What if I mentioned your name? What if I told your ass, fuck you, straightforward and plain? What else I got to lose when I'm stressing the game? Stressing again, pressing this pen to relieve my stress from within. It looks like I learned another lesson again. Never let someone in, expecting no exception from friends. At least my foes rob me in my face and leave me stretched for ends. You chose to stab me in my back, then you left in the wind. I guess that's what I should expect from a friend. But let me mention my fam, Sam, my father, may he rest in peace. Even though he lied and said he wouldn't die smoking crack cocaine, but it's alright, cause I don't live in the past, cause everything I leave behind is disaster and rain. But after this pain, will the shit still be the same? And if so, I just grab an umbrella and take a walk in the rain, cause you beat me down. But now that it's over and I'm walking again, I do all this again just to laugh and see your ass pissed off again. Cause I will be somebody. Hurricane was shot. Thank you.
Blue Jay.
Probably the only guy in Austin that's actually sweating right now in this weather.
What happened?
Did you see that?
What's
That's probably the only guy in Austin right now that's sweating in this weather.
Maybe it's the lights.
They're LED lights.
Maybe it's because his words are hot.
Yeah, this poetry was so hot, it makes himself sweat. I make myself sweat.
See, someone said heat of the moment, which makes me think it's the heat of the moment.
Oh, God.
Okay, so coming up next, we have one of the driving voices here in Austin, Texas.
Really?
Yes,
Incredibly.
I know. She's passionate, innocent, and has a vintage kind of feel. Coming up next, we have Susan Summers.
Passionate and innocent and
A penetrative feel.
and a what?
Penetrative.
Vintage.
Oh, vintage feel.
Vintage kind of feel.
Oh, he's not vintage. Vintage.
He's calling me an old lady.
See, that was it. That's it.
That was that. Okay, now I'm clear on it. Thank you for that.
You're classic.
Let me go put my old lady cologne on. We'll be all good here. Some powdery Shalimar.
Your shawl.
What's up, Mike?
I'm sorry. All right, I have 2 poems. They're both very short, so they're not breaking any rules up here, I don't think. The first one is Sacred Space. What happens in this room can only be good. No regrets allowed, and it must be done fully, without reservation or hesitation, with reckless abandon and freedom and laughter. And we must for this time convince ourselves that the door we shut when we seal out that world and that cold, we know that that world will be forever changed by our departure from it and what we do here.
Yep.
But for now, we pretend, and we find laughter with a lightness of spirit to carry us on this journey together, so that when we separate, we will be renewed, fulfilled, validated, confirmed as exquisite in our imperfections. If we embrace and love without flinching, without jealousy, without requirements or conditions, if we simply agree to love gently, fully, generously, we will find peace and the deep well of happiness and drink from it whenever we thirst.
Drink up.
All right. And this is for my friend Marcy. I have to do this because she likes my rhyming poems. And this one's about her, so double bonus. And it's called Marcy Gets Her Spurs On. She's from Wisconsin. And Austin has become a poetry home for her. She's made many poetic friends and family here. And kind of got broader wings here in Austin. And it's a beautiful thing what Austin does. So this
Wisconsin.
She's from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, she's from there, but she's got her wings here.
She's out and about.
She's out and about. Holy cow. That was an inside joke. Okay, Marcy gets her spurs on.
Don't take it outside.
Marcy came to Texas and did things in a big Texas way. She had many things to do. She had more things to say. She ate a Whataburger with the onion and jalapeno. They are a Texas staple, as every Texan knows. She's become a barbecue snob and critiques the sauce and rub, and when it's cooked just right, she just can't get enough. She drank from the Lone Star, the Shiner, and the Zig and Bop, and now shivers when it's 62, when once she thought it hot. And now the only ice cream that will ever suffice is the Bluebell from Brenham. No other is as nice. She went to the Houston Rodeo where Blake Shelton did a show, and she was even seen perusing a stack of cowboy hats. Now rumor says that they were Stetsons, if you can imagine that. I'm worried that they'll check her at the airport to see if she's smuggling spurs, and I wonder if she will deny or admit that they are hers. She's been secretly studying history of Stephen Austin, the Alamo, and the Battle of San Jacinto. If she's thinking of joining the Republic, she hasn't far to go. She may become a citizen, legal and first class, and tell Wisconsin Windsor to kiss her Texan ass. And don't bring this cold down here no more. Thank you.
Next time she comes, it'll snow.
Powerful, powerful voice. That was Susan Summers. Just adjusting the mic.
Oh.
So,
You need an adjustment.
I always need adjustments. Alright, so if it's right, I'm gonna do a little piece.
That's what she said. And my drums are disconnected. Yeah.
I'm so thankful that doesn't apply to me. Okay, so.
No peeking.
I see what you did there. Okay. This is new shit.
New shit.
I can't picture Lost in Thought that way, Hot Tamale once said. In response to me being complimented on my physique, he's like an annoying brother type. I think about that as I ponder about coming to know this place. The place I started coming to years ago, and I still remember my first time here. I was with my friend Jonathan, and I had just written a few pieces and still carried with me a case of racked nerves that shook the paper as much as it rattled pieces of marble satcheled and sewn shut inside my head, tended to with the most precise care, rigorously pulled out from my unhinged worry that still enraptures me for the worst or the most endearing at its best. I remember first meeting Element 615 at the hideout, and how he approached me and told me that there was another home for wandering souls captured somewhere between the words they create and the headspace they seem to invent. And I remember his beginnings in Austin before me, the stories of how he pieced together spoken and heard with relentless passion and pieces of his own art as a starting point to replenish the groundwork, typed bold-face on white paper and memory relapses on perfectly in-sync works that selflessly lined the garden poetic with a warm welcome, saying, "This is your home now," to anyone that wants to find themselves in speaking, singing, dancing, listening, and one day, maybe even miming. And how he tirelessly campaigns what is spoken now, who is welcome, and says, "Come, you are welcome." One of the hardest working people on the poet scene. I remember the day I was introduced to Hot Tamale as my co-host, and she excitedly held up her hands as this animated light captured her face, and she placed her feet on the ground like someone who loves to be here, but also has a wicked spice laced up to the back of her spiked heels. True, she doesn't really fashion those, but this woman's got enough attitude to make you feel loved, but at the same time, has a certain don't fuck with me kind of flavor that intrigues the very shadow she walks in. And she became involved, not only pioneering this place, but also traversing roadways with gear, music, and dreams, always coming back with tales from her journey and wearing that smile that appreciates every step, also fashioning her children's aspirations as proud lapels, inked through skin and bone, and teaching them as she teaches us. Don't let go. Don't ever let go of what powers you, for she herself is a wondrous power. What does this woman not do? I remember when Ernie B came on the scene and wired kick butt for sound. modestly sneaking in from behind the curtain as the spotlight quietly shifted over his methodical rhythm beat, tap, tap, tapping into his fingers as they dance over the highlighted steps of working machines, just how the gears spark up manifested wit, carefully perplexed right underneath the stealth reverberating in how he can speak, for he is a deep thumping in the heart that stays here. And traveling right along with Hot Tamale, taking to the road with speakers, manpower, and a relentless courage shared with his companion. For underneath his jovial upturns, cornering the sides of his mouth is an adamant loyalty to his family and friends. He is bound by both honor and respect that comes up through him and hides as a dragon's wing in plain sight. I remember when Element asked me if I wanted to take the helm before he took his 1-year leave. I was astonished, and especially surprised since I showed up late that day. and I don't think I was here for about a week. But he saw something there I did not. And he was right. Because I remember you. Each and every one of you. Maybe not always the names, but the voices, the passion, the courage, the presence. I never knew that in Austin, I would have a second family. And even past my fearless doubts, behind my everyday monsters that hide in the deepest parts of my soul, behind always tirelessly trying not to feel like a reject. My most evil apprehensions are trying to convince me I am. I feel welcome here. And yeah, I mess with Joe sometimes. Banter with Hot Tamale or be, but that's what family does. I tease sometimes, but then become understanding others. And now, I welcome you. Here. The stage, this floor. Speak. Sing. Dance for your life. Listen. Happy belated birthday. Spoken and heard.
Joe, come up and give him his hug. Come up and give him his hug. I can't. I'm busy. I'm busy engineering.
You guys mind your hug, Joe B.
You gotta make it creepy.
This is practice for the miming part, though.
No mimes.
No.
Wow, look at that.
Okay, so real quick, ladies and gentlemen, get off stage because he's hosting now. It's his job. But no, get back on stage. You can be here while I'm talking. Ladies and gentlemen, spoken and heard. Technically, I just put a whatever date on the Facebook page or whatever, but I started spoken and heard 8 years ago, one Sunday night before Thanksgiving. So technically, the last Sunday night we have before that Thursday will be our 8th year anniversary. And I say hours because even though I did start the show by myself some time ago, the show would not be in its 8th year without these 3 people you see over here to the left of me and the one nodding his head on my shoulder like he's Clifford, the big red co-host. I call these
the thin red.
I call these people my family very much so for a reason. I don't use that word lightly. I say that because I regard this show, I love this show almost as much as I love my children. For 8 years, we've done our best to give anybody with a voice or any kind of way to speak their minds, open-minded, open mic, music, poetry, singing, whatever is clever, just come up on stage and do your thing, and I would not have been able to do so without these 3 people here. So please give them a warm round of applause, and give it up for Kickbook Coffee, ladies and gentlemen, please. Yay.
Yay. And there's much celebrating. Right? That's how it goes, right?
What?
And I love you too, Tamale. Okay, so ironic because coming up next, we have the woman with attitude, none herself. We have Hot Tamale.
I'm not this vertically gifted. Okay. What kind of genre is that?
I don't know.
You know, because I mean, sometimes it has like a salsa beat, sometimes it has jazz. I don't
It's
know.
number 13, is it?
It's number 13.
Doesn't say
Okay.
anything about it.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring on some old shit.
Oh, shit.
And this is actually one of my favorite pieces, and eventually I kind of want to make a video of it and have Ernie B, my producer, you know, go ahead and video and add all the bells and whistles to it. And it's called Old Guitars. Heard the music you wanted to play, the feel of your guitar in your hands all day, all the time a tune in your head, at supper, also in bed. But you had a young family to feed. The local factory filled that need. Final whistle, day at an end. Your guitar, always your friend. The years roll on, you're in a different place. Time and care imprinted on your face. Didn't think of yourself, you earned your daily bread. Worked with melodies in your head. In your head, in your fingers, the tune around you lingers. Music changed, music grew, handing down to your son what you knew. He took it and ran, played a different song. It was his, and he played it strong. More time passed, sitting a window in June, appreciating a bird's simple tune. Racked with pain that you did revile, but on your face, still a smile, 'cause you could still hear the songs. The time came to go, your heart willed your fingers to play, but your body said no. One has no doubt you're still playing for angels, making them smile. Just for once, I wish I had heard you play. I wish I had heard you talk, but in my mind, I can hear you sleepwalk. Dedicated to somebody I wish I had met. Okay, lost in thought.
A lot of legalities over to get around that, making a video with that,
What?
to get the rights for the song and all that.
I never got a list. What the F? Did you? No, you didn't. Blank. Okay, hold on. Oh, there it is. I opened it and closed it, so there went my notification. Go sit down. Okay. Okay, my bad, because at the same time my boss sent me a schedule. I was like, crap, I'm working tomorrow. Okay, so coming up next, I need to call this poet coming up the Teflon poet. Is that who it is? Is that who it is, or is this a different one?
That depends. I have no idea. I've never heard that.
Okay.
Teflon?
Okay, okay.
Teflon coating?
Number one, is that who I think it is? Okay. Coming, like I said, I like to call this person the Teflon poet because, you know, and he's also the Timex poet. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Give it up for Pete.
She uses all those words to describe an old man, 73 years old, got run over a bike by a bike, riding, got run over, got hit in the head too, did you know? Get up here on Sunday night sometimes and do things called whispers in the wind. That night on 53rd and Airport, I got run over, broke a few ribs, messed up a whole lot of things, laid in bed a little bit and got up and getting ready to go back next week, a new bike the other day, and the other morning I woke up and spent some time in quiet, and this is what I heard. Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Come on, brother. Get back on, get back up. And you hear those whispers in the wind. It wasn't just for Moses. It wasn't just for them. It was for you. And it was for me. You want to look pretty? You're afraid of getting dirty? Come on. Wade in the water. Wade in that water. 'Cause you are a promise. You are a possibility. You are a promise with a capital P. Marcy, you are a great big bundle of potentiality. And if you keep on listening to your inner voice, you're gonna keep on making the right choice. Yes. Marcy, we're so glad you're here. We're so glad that you weren't afraid to wade in the water. Brother Thom wades in the water every time he gets in front of the mic. He doesn't have a note, he doesn't have a pen. He just wades in and lets it flow. So the word tonight is wade in the water, even if it's ice, even if it's dirty and it's not pretty. Keep on wading, folks. Keep on wading.
All right, give it up for Pete. What do you like better, the Teflon poet or the Timex poet?
Teflon.
Teflon. That's well, everyone's got an opinion.
The Teflon on my cookie sheet is wearing off, actually.
Yeah, I know.
I need to get a new one.
That shit rusts your dishes.
Mhm.
It's terrible. Okay, so coming up next, the man with the cam. Give it up for Scott Vanya.
Test. Thank you.
Sometimes I walk in a room like this, and I wish the walls could be laid back, flat on the ground, in a moonless night, in a moonful night, on a spring day, on a summer shower, and the whole world would come in. Space between us, and it can be a camera, or it can be a can, or it can be a cup of coffee. And it bubbles up into each poem that's ever spoken, or each poem that's ever written. And it flows out into the space back behind the edges of our mind. And I won't be the first person say, sometimes I want that water to stop flowing. Sometimes I wish the soul would get less of itself. And I could sit idly by and watch time flow down the stream. Then I hear a guitar play or the soft murmur of a voice in the wind. And I think it's not a window or a water or a stream. It's a dance. It's a dance where people hold hands and run around maypoles, and there's not just one of them. There's one for every city in this planet, and there's one for every star in the sky, and people are just sailing. I hear a thumping sound in my heart, and I don't know if it's the veins in me or the veins in you or the walls around, or the sound of a man who's lost himself in time. And I want to reach into him and say, come on out, man. There's a place to be, there's a place you're known, there's a place where every smile is yours turned up. And the dance goes on. Goes on to this time, and to the next time, and the next time, and it's all just a gathering round, you see. It's all just something coming to be in a space where there are no walls, there are no windows, there is no sound but peace. We all got one of them in us. We've been loved and we've loved so hard our veins burst at the thought of giving it away. It's just a dance. It's just a dance where the barn's been raised and everybody's welcome in. It's just a dance where the barn's been raised and everybody's welcome in, and tomorrow we'll go back to that dream that weren't really true. It was just the workday of a man who lost himself in time, but we'll remember this. We'll remember this, that somewhere there was a night on a Sunday at Kick Butt, and somebody said something that meant something to us. It meant something to us because what you got in you is a piece of the whole wide world, and it's all just trying to be set free. Let it go, God darn it, let it go. It's just a sound in the rain. It's just the snow coming down where every man is a leaflet being passed out on a sideway. There are no walls here. Peace.
Scott, Vanya. Okay, we have one more poet before the feature.
Feature!
Uno mas.
Break out your singles and possibly bigger denominations, because this poet braved this crazy ass weather to come over here and give you her feature, gift you with her feature. Okay?
On foot.
So, on foot. No. She was right on the interstate with a cardboard sign going Austin or bust. Like this. Come on, get me there, please.
You're faster.
Yeah, that might have actually been faster than the airport.
Right.
Yeah, all right. So don't forget about the drink specials, and I see that Lost in Thought is taking advantage of the hot tamale cocoa cup.
Yes.
Holy.
It's good.
Yeah.
It is
It's
very good.
It's very tasty. It was
So,
one day.
So are you getting a percentage of that?
I wish.
Right.
No. What? Uh-oh.
Don't put the microphone in the drink.
I'm having the hot tamale cocoa cup, and it tastes delicious.
In his 80s commercial personality.
It's yum delicious.
I fully endorse the hot tamale cocoa. Anyway. Okay, but yes, don't forget about the drink specials, the cold as well as hot. But we got the mimosa, Bloody Mary, and the IPA, all $3.
I believe.
And if we can get Alex off her phone, no, just kidding. She's over the sink.
Dustin.
No, if she's over there, she's over the sink. If she's over there, she's on her phone. I know the difference. I can tell. I always feel like somebody's watching me.
She's gonna make it a special drink now.
I know. It's gonna be a little bit of Fireball, a little bit of cyanide. Here you go, hot tamale on the house. Bitch, I'm gonna kill you. Okay. So that would be that'd be scary.
Drain over there.
Drain cleaner. That honestly makes me think of Terminator 3. Was it Terminator 2? The one where Sarah Connor fills that syringe full of drain cleaner.
Oh, that was wicked.
And stuck it in his throat. Move! I was pumping full of this shit, I swear! God, I love her. See, when I was working out, she was actually my role model. Every time I would lift a weight, I'd be like, Sarah Connor. And then I kind of went, fuck it, I'm never gonna look like her. I'm not a skinny white lady. I'm supposed to look like this. Ow! Okay, so coming up next, you said this is a new voice? New voice?
Kind of new voice.
Kind of sort of resale, gently used voice.
I think he's new here.
I have been to this venue, but I have not been to this particular open mic.
He's new here.
Okay.
New to this night.
So you haven't been de-virginized on the stage yet, have you? So get ready to pop your cherry. Give it up for Dustin!
Never lost my virginity on stage before.
It's always the first time.
That's usually how it goes, right?
There's nothing like your first piece.
I am editor-in-chief of Harbinger Asylum, a journal out of Houston, Texas, as well as owner of Transcendent Zero Press, which is the publisher of our feature tonight's two collections, Passion Zest and Cameo, and we will hear from her, Marcy Eanes, in a bit. But I'm going to read three very short poems from my book I've published, The Daunting Ephemeral. You can get these online if you look on CreateSpace or Amazon and just type in Dustin Pickering. No remorse. What does this cold heart try to portray to our fermenting world, floating like spores on winds of change? Promising light beyond reason, a song is softly woven into thoughts. I will surrender to terror's embrace and break my muse's heart without remorse. Thank you. This poem is about, looking upon the grace of nature and seeing that there's no need for any real improvement, and it kind of deals with do you really edit nature in that sense, or try to add or take away something out of the beauty of it? And it's called Editing the Moon, and it was kind of a little poem I wrote about a year or two ago. I have no idea how to edit the moon. Her soft rays glisten on raindrops, her hips glow on the storm. The dreams I catch on a side note, the aching whisper of silence, the broken energies of swift light, everything arrayed like a dance. I am still grasping the meaning of the moon. Thank you. And now I have my final poem, and then my great orgy on stage of losing my virginity on stage is over. Possibly we'll have a satanic ritual over here later on or something. This is called Guide Me. Guide me proper, toward the point of oblivion. My instincts are still cradling soft desire, but when the horn blares in the morning, I will know the ways of butterflies and the feeling of bliss. Until that moment, I will not be kissed. Aww. Thank you. Thank you for Austin. You're great. Everything I've heard tonight is wonderful. Thank you.
All right, give it up for new voice Dustin. Where's the goat? Where's the goat for the ritual? Just kidding.
Where's the goat? Okay.
The goat. Goat cheese, goat milk. Actually, if you're lactose intolerant, goat's milk is really good for you if you can get over the gamey taste.
Goat's smoke.
Goat's milk.
Oh, milk. I think it's goat
Why
smoke.
would I say goat's smoke?
I don't know. That's why I was like, what?
And you're the engineer. Get over
Yeah,
yourself.
but I'm not paying attention.
And this is not news. Okay, so coming up next, dare we say, feature time.
Feature time!
I'll let him do that. I was working last night.
Hey, Mike, can you sing at all?
Not really.
No? Okay.
Mary had a little lamb.
Meow Mix.
Little lamb.
Oh, God. Okay, woo! Woo!
Can you do the Meow Mix theme or anything like that?
Who?
The
The
Meow,
Meow
Mix?
Mix theme.
What's the meow mix?
Remember that
Meow,
commercial
meow,
where they...
meow, 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 meow,
Who
meow.
can't do that though?
Remember that commercial
Well, then you
in
can
the
sing.
70s where the cat could only meow backwards?
Oh, God.
Yo, yo, yo.
So he gets like this reel-to-reel and he records himself and
And then lip
plays it backwards. And it's a reel-to-reel. God, I thought it was so funny.
Okay, things engineers get a kick out of. So let us get on with this nude feature. Lost
Nude feature?
New!
Well, let me give the lights. Hold on.
We're just learning all sorts of things about Jordan here today.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Ernie B. Lost in thought, take it away.
Okay, so this woman has been everywhere in the past year.
Been around the world and I.
Yes.
Okay. Go.
You guys are getting worse, you know?
I know.
Go.
Okay, again, I'm going, okay? Just let me speak. God. She's just like an annoying sister.
Goddess.
She's just like an annoying sister. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I'll start remembering another commercial.
So this woman has not only been everywhere, but I also remember her words here. You know, she's compassionate, has a forceful, wonderful tone with her words, and she is definitely a creative force to be reckoned with. Coming up.
In other words, don't screw with her. She'll screw back. Woo! No, Johnny Feelgood, get your mind out of that. Okay.
It is our pleasure, kick butts in
And Texas and Austin and Travis County.
Come on, the credits gonna start rolling here.
And Airport Boulevard. No, just kidding.
On this slab of concrete, here on the earth.
Give it up give it up for.
I just love Dianna's face right now.
Somewhere in New York. I'm scratching my face.
Deanna's going, I'm glad I'm drinking a beer. It makes it a lot less painful.
Okay, so it is our pleasure to introduce Marcy Eads.
Marcy!
Good evening, everyone. Got housekeeping done.
You want a stool or a chair?
Stool.
Okay. Well, Mike. He'll get it. We haven't trained him properly.
Yes, I know what I want.
I thought it was a joke, you know, to train him incorrectly, and then.
Yeah, I just went behind me just in case. But as I stand here tonight, this is my last performance in Austin. And I have survived 3 appearances in 3 days.
Woo!
I did it. I did it. And a lot of mixed emotions because I have been on a journey. I am not a natural poet. I started this journey, which is coming from, as my publisher said, out of my book Cameo, because my neck was broken in a car accident and I was paralyzed from the neck down. And when I woke up out of that coma, I could not move a thing. But I am here. I am here, and I am a survivor. So I'm going to read, because Austin is such a magical place. the very first poem that got me to New York, which is entitled The Sun, the Moon, and the Stars. Bright golden sun, welcome me as a well-loved child, as I rise to greet you. Energize me with hope as I strive to meet my life's goals. Remind me not to waste God's gifts from morning till evening. Fill my days with the brightness you radiate. Oh, yellow moon, open your arms and soothe my spirits when light gives way to darkness. Help me to reflect the way I lived my life in the sun. Grant me courage to do better tomorrow. Renew my entire being in the sleeping darkness. Oh, twinkling crystal stars, illuminate the blue-black sky with your brilliance. Unequaled beauty God created for all to enjoy. Encourage dreams and dreams and dreams and dreams.
Hey, hey.
This poem has special significance because it was the very last poem I read at AIPF. And someone by the name of Tantra Zawaldi, this was AIPF 2011, she told me, I want you to come to New York and read it. And I did, on the stages of New York. So, hold on to your dreams, because they do come true. But I was taught by people who held on to dreams. I had two parents, Benny and Dorothy Eames, who were dreamers. They put me in, I was the first black student to integrated school in Racine, Wisconsin. Yes, I had the Ruby Bridges experience. So, yeah, you know, but, and all throughout our life, they were dreamers. They owned property. My mom went to school when I was in second grade and had babies, but earned her degree with children and just kept going. And she got it when I was in 8th grade. So when I went to college, I could not get anything by her. Not a thing. So, both my parents died by the time I was 28. And this poem, this next poem, is dedicated to them. But this is for anybody who needs to stand and needs to make a statement. This is entitled One. A warrior died today. The peaceful rest deserved after a turbulent life. A person who didn't buy into the notion that different equaled less, or no system could change. Breaking away from the pack meant someone sometimes stood alone. It hurt so deeply to feel betrayed, but the calling had to be completed. It was the reason why the seed fertilized the egg and brought forth this person. Not meant for personal gain or ego, the talents filled an earthly void, the internal struggle always present. Questions like, why me dogged the psyche? But each and every renewal brought clarity, thoughtfully crafting next steps for productive fights against the oppressive forces. Each step forward, revolution began anew, shaking herd-like thinking, one by one. Successful transformation leaves massive footprints for generations to follow. how powerfully one can move mountains, seize opportunities, and bring this world along. One can do so much, even with a shaky voice. Another who pushes farther than the first, forcing settled hardness to move, to dream, to want better. Think of all the possibilities that united can do, standing strong in warrior pose. I'm gonna say now, it's not all serious. I became a poet after dealing with several losses. Poetry found it was a way that I could express my grief. I still keep in touch with my first poetry group. When I moved to Los Angeles, I lived in a convent. No, it was not like Sister Act at all. You know, I worked in a grade school and lived in a convent with 12 other people. We made communal meals, but I found a great community of poets. After I met this one poet named Val. I would buy all her work. At that time I had money. And when I did buy her poetry, the clerk at the bookstore said, well, you need to meet this person. I said, okay. She said, you can write a poem. And I said, no, I'm a journalist. You know, I worked for Essence and 17 magazine. I was a reporter for newspapers. I said, no, I don't like poetry. He said, you can write a poem. I said, okay, I'll try. So, I wrote this poem after Val and I met. And when Val and I met, she said, you know you gotta get on stage. But here's the poem I wrote first, Summer Grooving. B.B. King on the 8-track as the car snakes along the night road. Parliament, Joe Tex, war and gospel, the sunlight groove. Oh, get your head off my shoulder. I've got to go to the bathroom now. Can we go to McDonald's? Look over there, Dad, Mom, look. Ah, vacation sounds. Dad at the wheel, baby resting next to Mom, and us three squished in the back seat. Riding wide and far and near and close. Wanderlust diet guide. Where will we end up next? I don't know, but what fun we will have. And then Val pulled my skirt out of my ass. So every time I try to think I'm sophisticated, it just never works. You know, I do try, you know, having that air of I'm a poet. You just don't know it yet, you know. But I do keep up with different fashion and different stages and studying my craft, because it's important not to just perform. It's important to know your roots and where you come from. It's important to know your history. and to know that it isn't just you that you're making steps for. You're leaving steps for future generations to follow. So, you know, to do that, you have to be cognizant and aware of what an image you're leaving. So, you know, it was just like what I was told the other night when I was in Denver. When I was in Denver, the plane was supposed to fly here to Austin. I was trapped in Denver because of the weather. It isn't easy being a poet. It isn't easy being disabled. And when they had to tell me that the plane was not going to fly to Austin, I had the most wonderful experience with a person that helps with disabled service. She told me to keep on doing what I do because I give her and other people who have rehabilitated so much hope that they can do whatever they can do with class and dignity. So, here's the next poem, Disability's Face. I am the one who struggles daily with disability. Be it a physical or mental pain, I don't know pain-free. Sunlight means courage because God didn't call my number. Putting on face when people become frustrated with my limits or look past me, deciding I'm asexual, undesirable, voiceless. So surprised when my bite leaves streaming blood, ignorant to the sickness disability truly is. I am that one who will knock down doors, my way, my time, because life is still pulsing in my spirit. Whenever I decide to lower the facade and let you in, I only ask one thing. Because my disability is a full life I would not wish on anyone. So listen, listen, listen.
Just one more.
So what do you guys think so far? So on Tamale here, she has the magical tip jar for our wonderful, incredible voice, Marcy Ians. It's going to go all the way around the room, and they're going to resurface back here with wonderful green stuff that folds.
Put lots of money in there.
And maybe one Whataburger coupon.
For her, of course.
Some barbecue.
Marcy Ians, everyone. Yep.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
We forgot to unpause her.
Okay. I'm back now. Well, as I said, I had a writers group that I really, really enjoyed. And they keep up with me on Facebook. And they keep me going out on the road. And they give me writer's prompts still. So, here's one of the latest prompts. If I were a poem. If I were a poem, rainbow colors would mark my trail. Azure skies paired with warm yellow sun, hovering over a riot of colorful flowers, planted firmly in dark, rich soil. All kinds of sounds would fill the air. Salsa meets jazz, rock meets soul, gospel meditation. all notes peacefully coexisting in my world. If I were a poem, favorite foods would join experimental dishes just for fun. Hang out with exotic drinks for huge parties or quiet reflection. Yoga and ballet stretched my mind. No stale thinking aloud. And a few silent gray clouds found in the sky would hold my tears cried. Reminders that life has silver linings. If I were a poem, every line would push for better cadence. Dorothy and Benny would reside in my veins besides the red, white, and blue. The future is mine, more living awaits. For life is meant for sharing and laughs, more joy after the rain. And when that day comes, that day which ends on earth, dreams would be fulfilled, and cherished memories of those left behind would inspire those along the way. If I were a poem. Okay. How many minutes?
You have 14:45.
All right. I'm gonna read. As I said, I come from a family of really strong women. Really strong women. Starting with my mother, who would do things like, after my accident, we had the hospital therapy, and then we had my parents' therapy. And Mark is already laughing because my parents' therapy was much different than the hospital. You know, I was supposed to say, oh, well, you know, she can't do that because she's handicapped. But when I got home, it was like, you know, well, you're gonna do that because the world is not going to give you any breaks. So with my mom, she would teach me how to be a lady, you know, walk with the cane, make me look people in the eye, make me pick out my clothes, make me make reservations on airplanes. So I got used to that again. And with my dad, this is a story Mark wants to hear. Mark, here it is. He would tell me, my dad would tell me, which is in the book Cameo, which you can find on Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, at my table after this is over, and at Create Space. Gotcha, Dustin. But my dad, he took me. We had a backyard and a front yard. He took me outside. In the front, the grass was, you know, really nice. You know, because we lived between two streets. You know, and the front yards were all manicured. But in the back, you know, the concrete was broken, and the guard dogs would all be kept back there. It'd be really rough and strange. So the dogs would just jump at me, and I'd be holding on to my father's hand, but he would hold on to me and tell me that everything was going to be okay, but that I was a black woman walking in this world, and that my mind was not broken, just my body. So, you know, it was up to me to make a life and to remember that I could live again. And this next poem called Limited Space, tightly grasping yesterday's regret, the hate, the unbelief, the fear, stubbornly withholding forgiveness, the trust, the love, the joy, the faith, the generosity, ultimately kills the healing, the dreams, the confidence, the tenacity, and the prosperity. So if you hold on to the old, you won't be able to let the new in. You gotta let go. You can't keep holding on to the grudges. You gotta find a way to rekindle your faith. You know, because lost and found, hide and seek is the game she plays daily with life. Painful soul wounds lurk underneath, oppressive weight, shapeless clothes, unkempt hair. Other self-esteem poisons chip away at confidence bit by bit until the mirror reflects the unrecognizable. Constant fear is present even in smiles. Shattered, she trembles when confronted with a powerful love. The cracks of life brighten dark despair, choice becoming the challenge to boldly brighten, to take bold steps into a new life. Holding her head high, time strips her of everything, hindering her self-esteem. She stretches and grows, falling deeply in love with herself again. And this is a journey that I am still on, because I have lost over 100 pounds. Thank you.
Looking good.
Thank you. Finally wearing those jeans without the elastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had after losing my parents, I had a brother who was mentally disabled, and I had to take care of him for a while. And I moved by myself to California. That's where the convent came in. And when I moved back, I had to take a long, hard look at myself. So becoming me has been a process. And finding myself in Austin on these stages has been a process. And this is why I come back here. This is why I do what I do. I have read to rooms where there has been nobody. Because I've been at this since the late 90s. I know people, I started in Los Angeles. And when everybody was reading in Los Angeles, I came to my first AIPF in 06, when I still lived in Los Angeles. And they were like, why are you coming to Austin? Ain't nothing there except, you know, rednecks. So, I said, I feel a calling. And I moved to Wisconsin based on the fact that I could travel easier if I didn't have to pay so much in rent. Just so I could fly and do what I need to do. So this, standing on stages and reading, standing in rooms and telling my story is a calling. And I hope I've given you something to hold on to. And I'd like to close.
Sorry.
Okay.
Damn
So I
it.
got 5 minutes. I
Damn
thought it was
it.
over.
No, I hit it with my pinky. I must say you'll say.
Okay, 5 more minutes. I heard the music and I'm like, well, okay, it's time to get off. All right,
Bad engineer.
all right, I got a few more minutes here. I think I can figure out something. Yeah, I hope I've given you something to hold on to learn from, because I don't take this lightly. You know, I've been slammed, I've been, you know, told my poetry is hallmarky, doesn't fit, whatever, don't care. It finds the niche where it needs to find the niche at. You know, because going through things, like the poem Tears talks about, because once you go through having people turn against you, you just learn how to walk alone and listen to that inner voice. And I want to know, after I read this poem, do I get a shot like I did at the Drunken Retort in Grand Rapids?
Alex?
This is Tears. I had to learn how to beat. I had to learn how to leave tears on pillows and beat down hell every morning. I stood on my feet, smiled broadly, dressed nicely, reveal only enough to make it back to my bed, letting myself shatter into shards until daybreak. The world showed me through cruel twists and turns that I was alone. The family scattered and took many sides, leaving me to clean up messes, not of my making, stiff upper lip while the sun shined, putting things in order years beyond. Older people understood while the young ones played. I remained stuck, trying to change. The role models were few. I ate much and cried alone, throwing deep mistrusts. And I was always lost, even in crowds. Years later, people complained about only knowing half, and few accept when I tell them my real truth. But involving into me has been a hard-fought battle. I did much which amazes even me. You add in that Georgia Steel Magnolia, mix it in with the East St. Louis blues, and you stir in that Wisconsin cold. And then you know what makes this so. But leaving tears on pillows is still a hard habit to shake. And rarely do I sob on 2 feet. But when I do cry, I will cry from what I survived. I will release those who just up and left, and rejoice at all the new, because I've been told that tears can be happy too. Was it shot worthy?
What kind of shot? What would you like, ma'am?
Well, I had tequila the last time.
Whoa!
And it's also in Cameo.
Merch. Yeah.
Here it is right here. It's in Cameo. I also have Passion Zest for sale at the back table. I also have, it's also online at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and it creates space. Dustin Pickering and Trans and Zero Press is the publisher. So.
Has a great editor too.
Oh, sorry. Oh no. Sorry, Susan is my editor. Susan Beal Summers. She is the one that has pushed me to talk about myself because this project was supposed to only be an 11-page chapbook. And yes, I am from the Midwest. I'm not used to talking about myself. So please excuse me if I did not come off slick and, you know, polished. This is only the second crowd that has heard all of this. So you're an awesome crowd. Give yourselves a hand. And buy a book. And buy a book. Or two.
Or shot.
Or shot. Or shot.
Get her good and drunk.
Right, because as I said, we worked on this project all summer, and I have remembered things, and I have the honor of sharing my story at the hospital I survived at in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I was a newspaper reporter before this whole reinvention took place. And at Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I worked as a newspaper reporter before I became a poet, traveling all over the United States. So thank you very much.
All right.
She's gonna be buying us shots.
All right, give it up for Marcy. See, I haven't traveled with my poems yet. I've traveled going, do you want me to get that guitar for you? That's been my travels, but I haven't traveled with my poems yet. And Marcy, good job. Amazing, amazing feature.
And she is also quite the storyteller.
Yes. Okay, so.
So the list is open.
The list is open,
Yes.
but you actually have.
You can help. I have things to say.
No,
you can approach me, lost in thought. You can approach Hot Tamale here, or you can approach this dapper gentleman coming up next to the stage. You can come up to Element 615.
I feel good. Tony. Hey, I feel good. Jump back, kiss myself.
You gonna jump back or kiss yourself?
I didn't pull up the music. I'm back.
Here we go.
Moving? Yeah. Grooving? Yeah. Grooving? Yeah.
What was that?
What's he saying? I know we get paid. Keep singing. Yeah. Jumpy.
Old shit.
Oh, shit.
I find this excess of your absence a nuisance. Seeing as how romance is impossible without your presence, and anything less than your essence makes no sense. And since I'm being honest, I have to tell you I only think of you on 2 occasions. When I start and before I stop. I've been in withdrawal without you, and I desperately need to cop. You see, I need a hit. I need a dose. There's never been anything else like you, and nothing really ever came close. And to be more direct, I would tie a strap around my arm, grab a needle full of you, and inject you inside. I am devoid of that which leaves me overjoyed, and I wait for you to provide me with touch, with smile, with eyes that more than stare, and I will concede to the fact that you can't be here like I need, but I'm not gonna lie and say it's fair that you aren't anywhere near, that we can't breathe the same air. And you better believe you owe me for every tear I've shed, every time they soaked my pillow when you could have wiped them away instead. And what's messing with my head is no one else but you can do what you do, and nothing else fits the bill. And I know it's my fate to do nothing but wait. Time passes fast as molasses uphill. And no one deserves to see me smile like I do when you're around. And I truly believe silence is the loudest of sounds, but when I listen close enough, I can hear my heart pound an SOS for you. And when you finally hear my plea and rescue me, I will say hi with my eyes, embrace you with one hand, rub the back of your neck with the other, and kiss you. And despite all that is wrong, it will be all right. But for now, my only issue is that I miss you. Thank you. Mike, stop clapping hard.
I don't know how else to clap.
I feel
Claps like a walrus.
You know, I feel concerned. Like there's danger nearby. Like he's clapping louder than other ones because he knows the killer is near. Red Eagle, Red Eagle. Loud clap is Red Eagle on 3. What?
Well, I guess I did see someone clapping the well.
No, you didn't. There's not even a well near here. Thank you all. Okay. You have all broken the sound barrier. And somebody sounded like a walrus. I don't know where that came from. Stop.
Hey, did you know? Speaking of clapping,
Here we go.
you know how Joan Rivers would always clap? She'd clap like this. And she would host. You know why she'd do that?
Why?
Because she'd have the microphone. She'd put it under her arm like that. That's why. That's the only reason why she ever started clapping like that. And then she just started clapping like that just because.
I thought she was ashamed of her hands.
No.
I thought she was worried about the bingo wing.
No, she'd put the microphone under her arm and hold it like that. True story.
Alright. Coming up next is stage.
More clap trivia. And now for more clap trivia.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next to the stage, please give it up for my friend and yours, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy at the counter right now, getting his food prepared. Not just wait, you can wait. While Mark is waiting for his food, I'm gonna do 2 haikus real quick. Y'all like haikus?
Hey!
Alright, so I'm gonna do a haiku and it will begin at the end of this sentence. Post-defecation euphoria. Because it feels so good to just let shit go.
That was even punny!
TMI!
Put him in the penitentiary! Here's my second haiku. No, I got another haiku. No, there's no getting down. Jesus Christ. There's none at all. We're on a schedule here, people.
We love you, Joe.
No, you don't. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, last haiku. Spring rain. This haiku would sound so much better than Morgan Freeman's voice. I mean,
I don't get it.
Exactly. Some of you made that happen. Thank you for working with me. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mark My Words coming to the stage.
So speaking of shit, I wrote this new shit a couple hours ago, and it's already old. So bar hopping with friend, bookstore hopping.
Would you say it's new?
New shit.
New shit.
We already did that.
Not everybody said it. I didn't know. I'm tired. Jump back.
He was kissing himself.
Bar hopping with friend. Actually, bookstore hopping. Made it before the last call. Hey, bartender. What you got on tap? Not the stuff in bottle that's bottled up. Not fresh off the press. What is on tap? already opened, tasted and tried. So I actually was at a bookstore with a fresh publisher, and I'm not drinking beer on tap, but just like to let you know that he had a really good conversation about holding two opposing ideas at the same time. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Do your best, Joe.
Okay.
You're sitting next to someone beautiful.
Clap if you're sitting next to someone beautiful.
Clap if you're sitting next to more people. What? I'm trying to do as quick as impersonation possible for you. Shove me on stage.
Why is everything you say one word? He could make the Gettysburg Address sound like one word. He can make a filibuster sound like dodecahedron. Just
what's a filibuster?
He makes sense.
Oh my God!
He's the only person I know that verbally condenses a paragraph into a zip file.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's like all wind zipped up there.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mark My Words one more time, please. Okay, so little known fact about Mark My Words, he is like the reigning administrative badass at this beautiful monstrosity that we call the Austin International Poetry Festival in its 23rd year as of next April. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mark one more time. I myself happen to be the director of said shindig. In its 23rd year, the Austin International Poetry Festival will have at least 60 to 70 different events throughout the course of 4 days, all throughout the city. And on April the 11th, world-renowned poet, activist, educator, author, Nikki Giovanni will be featuring at the Poetry Festival. For those of you who need more information, I have flyers. For those of you who don't have any flyers in your life right now, I have flyers. I will give them to you. You can have them and you won't have to give it back.
Fly away.
If I give Mike a flower, I'm gonna want it back just to spite it. I'm gonna want that. Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the next poet coming up to the stage. I believe a new voice?
No.
Nah.
She's featured.
She's featured here before?
Yes.
I'm tired. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dianna coming to the stage.
I thought they were about to throw down right there in front of me.
Yeah, you know. So I featured about this time last year, which was actually kind of cool. So I haven't really been here since then because life got crazy, and you'll all get to hear about that later. Because I'll write new shit eventually.
New shit eventually.
Eventually. Right now it's still old shit because the new shit is still permeating. So we'll give it some time first. But old shit.
Old shit for nothing. New shit eventually.
New old shit. Here we go.
New old?
You see what you did to us?
Present shit?
Present shit. My wife is beautiful. Beautiful as in a warm summer night wrapped in the safety of a backyard, siphoning fireflies from the sky into jars. So sure at 6 they were tiny shooting stars come down just for us. I hold her loosely at night. It's the only way to hold a galaxy, resting easy in the dips of her gravitational patterns. One shift in her pool and I am subnuclei. Quantum fluctuations forming energy from the empty space. I try to tell her, her body is the only one for me, that she is the only form my mouth was born to bear, that no other cross-section of limbs could create the 1,000 suns that burgeon in my core, but my words are swept away. The black hole of her uncertainty swallows them whole. She says, I am blind. I am full of bad taste, clothes herself in darkness. This ring, be damned. She has known every no carb, low sugar, no meat, every meat, only juice, only fruit, only air diet, and I know all too well the outlines of this map. Have traced the trails of my ribs, have spent formative years searching for keys in the pages of 17 magazine, only to find the multi-billion-dollar industry built on the premise that you must always be hungry, must always need 10 pounds less, must only fill your bowls with Pinterest boards full of thigh gaps and inspiration quotes, must never feel beautiful. I could create constellations. From the bright white she starts behind my eyes. Brighter than North Star, a beacon of my desire, but her compass will never point north to south, only east to west. Thank you.
It needs that at the end, like a cha.
Oh, yeah. Give it up for Dianna one more time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and coming up next to the stage, make some noise.
This is a new voice.
This is a new voice. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next to the stage for the first time ever in the universe here at Kick Butt Coffee, premiering live for the first time.
Oh my God, you're doing a mic.
I am.
Cut it out.
Everybody give it up for the next boy. Give it up for Fernando. Give it up for Fernando, ladies and gentlemen.
That was called Boots and Pants. Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants. Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants.
Testing? Cool. Okay. Hey everybody, what's up? So I wasn't really expecting to play today, but I just wrote some new shit yesterday.
New shit?
And somebody playing here, this talented musician right here, happened to be left-handed, which is amazing because I can never use anybody else's guitar, being left-handed. And I also have this other talented musician right here playing percussion. So, this is a song I called What's the Point? When we try and we fail, we never make a difference. We can't even stay together. I'm okay if you are. We gotta keep on moving on. That's the point of no return. To me, my lover girl, are you a tricky
One more time, Fernando, ladies and gentlemen, give it up, make some noise. Okay, so.
Speaking of Fernando,
right?
Did you know that Charo wrote Fernando for ABBA?
I know that Johnny loves Chachi, and that will never change. That's what I know. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Little Charo trivia.
Okay, give it up for Fernando one more time. All right, so just so you know, if this is your first time here, like I always say, what we love about our spot is that it's not our spot. We created this place so you could have somewhere to go no matter who you are, whether or not you ever get on stage, you have a place you can be where you can just sit and chill. It's an open-minded open mic for a reason. This is basically a nudist camp for the soul, and that is by no means an invite for anybody to physically remove any garbs of their clothing, but please just go with the metaphor, you know.
Too late!
Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged. Oh, got you, sir. Shoe bar.
Gonna have to put some chicken wire up here.
Okay. So I'm gonna do another haiku before I bring up this next poet.
Haiku.
Haiku-licious.
Okay, so I'm gonna do when I say it is very cold outside.
Baby.
All of you shut up. All of you say so cold that, and then I will begin my haiku. It's very cold outside.
So cold.
So cold that.
So cold that.
The haiku I was gonna read said, "Fuck this, I'm staying my ass at home." Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, two people that clap. Thank you so much. It's too late, Mike. It's not real. It's not real. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for one of the busiest cats I know. Poet, DJ, producer, crazy looking drummer in the back of a rock band. Give it up for DJ Jazz 1.
You heard? I like that part. How you guys doing tonight?
All right.
It's good to have some poetry to kind of warm up to. I don't have old shit. I have oh shit.
Oh shit.
No, O-L. Not O-L, not D.
Oh shit. Holy
or
shit.
O-H, like oh shit.
I like oh shit.
Yeah. All right, now I'm gonna get serious. I wish she loved herself like I love her. And I'm not sure what she's mad about when she tells me she's sleeping on the couch, but something that night just didn't feel right. I get out of bed and I flip on the light and find my nightmare become real life. Empty bottle of vodka, empty bottle of pills. My bottle of benzos had just been refilled. I dial 911, they send cops, EMS. I follow the lights of the ambulance. Lights spinning, head spinning, I can't think, I can't breathe. I can't breathe, I can't breathe. I park in the garage and I find a feather. And I walk the hospital halls, and I find more feathers. Waiting outside ICU, I find more feathers. Someone told me angels are near when feathers appear. Finding the feathers felt like a sign. I didn't know the meaning, but it still felt divine. My lover recovered but struggled with recovery. I loved her and she loved me, and I told her the story and feathers became our thing. She'd wear them on chains and earrings. We had our ups and downs during benders. I remember finding feathers on the ground. The sun still shines over stormy weather. gave me a little hope that things would get better. A year later, I wasn't there to save her. And the love of my life took her on. And until she passed on, I never felt alone. With friends and family, I still felt alone. In front of a crowd behind a microphone, I still felt alone. So, I'd hide in the cave and I'd isolate. Eyes give me away, so I'd hide behind shades. If I didn't, I'd get asked, "Are you okay?" My eyes are red, my eyes are blue, my eyes tell no lies, so I hide the truth. If I could, I would have worn a mask. When I see my reflection, all I see is scars. Someone told me angels are near when feathers appear. Some days were dark, and some days were darker. And some days were hard, and some days were harder. And some days were bad, and some days were worse. And I could go days, weeks, or maybe months. And some days the hurt too much. When I felt like I couldn't take it anymore, I'd look down and I'd find a feather on the floor. And maybe I look down more when I'm down. But it's a breath of air when I fear I may drown. Whether the feather's a sign or a symbol, I feel better. Fat Belly Bella tells me I have a guardian angel. And what I do know is when I'm down, something picks me up. I always find a feather on a bad day. At my door on my birthday, on stage when I DJ, on tour at shows I played. It makes me feel like everything will be okay. And I can make it another day. Winter eventually does become spring. So now, my quills come from angel wings. Thank you. I'm Jazz One.
Jazz One, you heard?
What was that?
That was so lame.
That was Jazz One. That was for you, Jazz.
You're officially the lame cousin now.
A late cousin? What's a late cousin?
Lame.
Oh, lame cousin.
Proven by the fact that
You're sitting at this mini table at Thanksgiving.
Well, everyone knows that that's where the coolest people sit, though. You know.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, I never thought I'd say this, but Lost in Thought is right about that. That's where the cool people sit. Because you know what? I can't stand my relatives. I can't stand any of them. So I sit with their kids going, "Your mom did what? Ooh, I'm eating my stuffing. Tell me more."
That's how you get the dirt on them.
That's how you get the dirty dirt.
You see.
How'd you know that? A
Bird
little
told me.
bird told me.
It's all about the small table.
I know. I've been sitting at the small table all my life. I'm 45. I don't want to go to the big table. Big deal. All right, on with the show.
Little turkey trivia there.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Molly, for backing me up.
Oh dear God.
So coming up next to our stage, we have a voice that actually premiered here last week. She didn't premiere her last week.
Hello.
But she is a recent voice, though. Yes. Who is this mystery woman that's sending me all these cues? Well, she's coming up next. Her name is Bunny.
For too long now, every blonde has been her. Every black car has been hers. Every blonde in a black car has been cause for a panic attack. So I've gone back to the places I've gone with her, trying to steal their identities back from hers, isolate them from her, and make them mine alone. I went back to the old coffee shop. I had a meeting close by. I wouldn't be long. I didn't think she'd be there, not on a Tuesday. The baristas wouldn't remember me. I'd be in and out, and it wouldn't matter. I wasn't long. She wasn't there. The baristas were all new. It didn't matter. As I waited to order, I looked out across the parking lot, remembering our long goodbyes and desperately wanted them back. I ordered and headed out to the table under the awning, recalling conversations and silences and staring competitions, and wanted them all back. I sipped the foam off my coffee as people on the sidewalk passed unreasonably close to my chair, and my right eyebrow climbed higher and higher. I recalled our pauses and gazes and understood I would never have them back. A few days ago, I tried that again, and this time with more success. I remembered our time there without missing it. The place was no longer hers, just a shop, just good coffee, just a convenience stop.
Sounded like broken glass, I guess it wasn't.
Night peeps, come on back.
Put your jacket on.
It's cold outside. You're gonna get sick.
The mom is coming out at me. Put your jacket on. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with these kids today?
It works.
So everyone,
They think they're invincible. They think they're invincible.
They are.
What's wrong with these kids today? I don't know.
Kids today.
Kids aren't all right.
Oh. So everyone, that was Bonnie.
Night.
Night.
Du-du-du-du. Was it Orange What thing?
Huh?
Good night. Du-du-du-du.
Sleep tight.
Du-du-du-du.
And let your dreams come true.
Du-du-du-du-du-du. I don't know.
You're too young. Go ahead.
You know, I worked with his accordion player, Myron. What's his name? I did.
Deanna's actually heard this. That's why she put on her head. She's like, oh God, not
I have to come on the two nights that he actually mentions it a year apart from each other.
Deanna, I almost live with him, so guess how much I've heard it.
He was a good accordion player. He was throwing down.
And we don't doubt that.
He was the Jimi Hendrix of the accordion.
He was like the Paganini of accordion players.
Who's next to poets?
Oh yeah.
Who's next?
Talk. You're not saying anything. I'm trying to fill some air.
Okay, so coming up next to our stage, we have a new voice.
New voice.
So let's welcome him with a lot of love, everyone. This is Roy.
Howdy, everyone. I came in for a cup of coffee and discovered y'all. This is great, guys. This little haiku I wrote last summer, and I will give the title after I read it to you, okay? Make more sense that way.
Sounds good.
Playful puppyhood. Life's cheerful companion. Heaven's gate awaits. That's Ode to Bear. She was a border collie. 15 years. That was for her. Thank you all.
I asked.
Okay, so everyone, that was Roy.
Oh, excuse me.
I got one better. Roy, I thought that was awesome that you got up. I mean, I love it when people come in for a cup of coffee and they get in the to-go cup and then you see them gradually sit down at a table. Wow, what's going on here?
And we're over here like, wow, we would snare another victim.
And then we're talking about like the demon goat going, okay,
we're getting de-virginized on stage. He's like, I gotta get out of here. This weird sexual shit going up in here.
One time, remember the time the guy would come and take the trash every once in a while?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we called him up on stage.
Joe B come up on stage.
We got him up on stage one time.
Oh, and then there was that other guy. There was one more time.
The karaoke guy?
Yes.
Yes, I was just about to mention him.
I was just about to say that one where this guy comes in for a cup of coffee, and then he was like, well, I want to sing a song. I just pulled it up on my computer, turned it around. There you go, buddy.
Wasn't he like a bus driver or something?
Yeah, he was just stopping for a break.
That was cool.
Don't you just love the way we just yank everyone up here? Somebody's coming in here going, I really gotta go to the bathroom, but I think I'll read a poem first. Hold on.
Get him on stage, damn it.
Drive-by poetry.
Woo! Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so.
I'll stay here while you announce.
Awesome. Accessories, people. So, coming up next, we have a voice that hasn't been here in a long while. So, I know. But, coming up next to our stage, we have Michelle. And no one can rock rabbit ears like me.
So I would just like to say that my friend here is an asshole because she sacked me up. So this is a poem I wrote a long time ago. Yes, that's the asshole. 3 cheers for the asshole!
Life would be a lot different without the asshole.
I know.
Yeah. Let me just, sorry. Okay. So the poem is called The Simple Fact Remains. And let me just get there real quick. I'm so sorry.
Come on, 4G, friend.
This really stinks. I'm so sorry.
This moment brought to you by Android.
Yes. Okay, so it's been like this since the beginning. When I met you, I was being shy, but inside, I was feeling high. Getting high like a kite, like puff, puff, give, except I want to keep you all to myself. Take my heart off the shelf and give it to you, and it remains the same even after all you've put me through. But see, you're fucking up my rotation. My hips, my breasts, my thighs, a vibration, sweet penetration. You're sending me, bringing me to an elation. But I'm coming down from this high, don't know how I'll get by until I can get my next fix, my next hit. I ain't talking about sex shit. I ain't talking about you playing with my clit. I'm talking about you playing with my heart. Taking it, holding it, and then tearing it all apart. Into tiny pieces, into little shreds, and hell no, I never gave you head. But you never gave me honesty. You just played with me, and you're still playing with me. And see, it's like, man, pass the dro, but aw shit, I forgot I don't smoke. Man, when I see you, I choke. My feelings get all caught up inside, and I get all hot up inside, and sometimes wet. But let's not forget, you're the one that let me go. See, you're fucking up my rotation. I'm on lockdown, put on probation. Can't let go, can't move on. I'm hooked like a drug to your conversation. It's like sex to me. And even when other dudes are trying to get next to me, my mind keeps drifting back to you like a song played in heavy rotation. And I can't get it out of my head like I can't get you out of my bed. Like I can't get my heart to not be red. And like I said, you got me in this purple haze. Eyes are days going through a crazy maze. When you're not around, my skies are gray. I'm feeling like I'm on lean, but my piss test came back clean, so I don't know what it is that's got me feeling like this. I guess it's you that I miss. See, you got me feeling confusion, jumping through hoops like it's an illusion. Like a recovered addict, my heart you're abusing, like a recovered addict who started using over again and again over. 4-leaf green clover, you moved on fast, but I move on slower. In fact, I've stopped, like a clock that forgot to top. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick. And see, I've been writing this for over an hour. Should have been in the shower and took my ass to bed, but see, that's where you got your power over me and me over. Over and under and over. Yeah, that's that shit we did between the covers. But you want to act like we were never lovers? See, I don't know what it is. If I could just get you off my brain, get you out of my veins, but the simple fact remains that I love you.
Returning voice to everyone, that was Michelle.
Here on Jazz Hits 107.3.
And yes, coming up next to our stage. Okay. See, I can do that too. Alright. And coming up to our stage is a woman I haven't seen in a very, very, very long while. Another one I haven't seen in a long while. And she can correct me if so, but I believe she's still one of the driving forces behind Spitfest. Yes. We are so glad to have her back here on this stage tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is LaLoveR Robinson.
Before I start, you know what a piss pot is? So I won't lose you?
I think so. Is that where you actually use it for a bathroom or what?
It's kind of self-explanatory.
Alright, here we go. This piss pot, part of my country living. The same life that helped shape these hips like hog pens. Texas. Damn, you country. My city didn't raise me like my country did. Back to that piss pot. My roots are rocky roads, wash tubs mixed with cousins on top and cold cuts on crackers and auction borns, my country self. My country was pastures, big for screams. When the city beats you down and the concrete gets too hot, you can walk barefoot. Running in the sand makes you slow down. I plucked my own ass whoopings from trees, please. We called them switches. And yes, there's plenty of where that came from. Neck bones made you have a backbone. Chitlins made you a wimp. And greens made you a slave of a shelf and cornfields with a hide and seek. And we came in at moonlight. Fuck the street lights. They're too demanding. And oh yeah, this piss pot. My family pissed it down to the next generation. So yeah, we had a pot to piss in. And my grandma's house didn't have a toilet with running water, so we had to take care of our own shit. And roosters was the ringtone, and hay bales were for lifting weights, and climbing fences were our only obstacle, but we still made it. And we left clothes on the clothespin. Take your quarters for the next jukebox, and juke joints across the tracks played our favorite down-home blues, and I was clueless that I was called corn-fed. Big bones is what they call me. Country. We trick and treat from door to back door. No need to check candy. We were safe. And my ex-husband appreciated that I knew how to climb fences. I know how to straddle the fence. And barbed wires made you pick and choose, slow, careful. And sometimes the dewberries were blue and ready, and the plums became jelly, and the grapes became wine, and we were just fine. Country. And that piss pot still sits on my mama's shelf at her house. Slick as the city made me, I am still from a different cloth. And that quilt that grandma made, I was still on the pattern stitch and traveling at times. I am that piss pot, still useful and still rusty. I am high cheekbones, made from red dirt, that paved my way, hanging from my grandma's skirt. While she threw out the dishwater, she was the dishwasher, the country. It's quite enough to hear the owls, and wise enough to hear and appreciate the howls of wolves, and patient enough to fish with homemade fishing poles. Sometimes you just have to wait slow and country.
LaLoveR Robinson, everyone.
That's for our SAP channel.
Our SAP channel, yes.
Yeah. See.
Now that I know what SAP channel is,
It only took you about 2
you
months.
know what that reminds me? A long, long time ago.
A long, long
I know
time
you're gonna
ago.
think it. So my mom worked for like, well, of course, she worked for Time Warner Cable way back when, and she still does.
For who?
And Time Warner Cable as well. So we got all the channels for free, but the signals got crossed, and we ended up getting the Playboy channel in Spanish.
See.
And like, you know, I was curious. And I was curious. I mean, like, you know, well, you know, wouldn't do much for me, but anyway, well, why not? So I watched it, and like, you know, nothing much different. And you know, you didn't have to learn Spanish or anything.
Yeah. I don't understand what they're talking about.
There's no plot.
I don't think
You follow this. I can't.
Spanish English dictionary.
What?
Spanish English dictionary.
It's really.
Right, he'd be there like, what's that mean?
Yeah, but then he learned all the body parts in Spanish.
Really?
He went to school and got slapped by a Spanish teacher. What'd I do?
Learning through osmosis.
And there was a deafening silence in the room.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, who else? Who else are you bringing up, Mon Capitan?
Spanish.
Bringing
You,
up.
you Spanish whore, you.
You Spanish slut. Jane, you ignorant slut.
I love
Okay,
that. I love
Jane,
that.
you ignorant slut.
Okay, what?
We don't know.
Marvin Gaye still didn't know.
Is he next?
Marvin Gaye?
Is he here?
Wouldn't that be cool?
So I am bringing up the last poet of the night.
The last.
Dun dun dun.
Yes. You gotta do it like. The last poet of the night.
That was her armpit.
Who is it?
The last poet of tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Okay, who is it?
Okay. So tonight has been full of
Crap.
voices that have
It's
been
been
here.
full of something.
Yes. Voices that have been here in a long while, and none better than to close with than this gentleman.
This gentleman.
Yes.
This man who is gentle.
I guess you could say that. So, coming up
Gentle Ben. Wasn't that a.
Coming up next to our stage, finishing out our night and exploding our minds with words, we have Christopher Daniels.
Go sit down, Mike.
What?
I dropped out of high school, so I don't know too much about theories of relativity or chaos, but somewhere I got the idea that if I say I love you, something should happen, and it would. You would look at me like I was the ink on the poster outside of an abortion clinic. I try to think of all this during my morning meditation. My eyes slammed shut, forehead wrinkled like crack house blinds. I sat there until I gathered every girl, every boy, behind every door to every pore of my body, and we tried to blow out the rain. This I did for you. Try to think of myself as a sand dune in mid-flight. Instead, I found myself more a stack of undelivered news. If I fail to say how I feel, I fear I'll come back next lifetime as an urban tumbleweed, some receipt for a pack of now-and-laters. What can't you corral from this? It's simply not enough to have tail lights for a father, to have a mother that's an open road, to be so poor some days you have for dinner a roll of pennies. This awkward down the hall pitter-patter we call our past, it will never forgive your attitude. Look at Tom's big-ass blue head peeking over our cold shoulders, sweating bombs biting off his fingernails, the sweet pinks dying to tattletale on us at me for what I would be other than heaving in suntan. If I don't smile in defeat and let you know that out of all the brick walls in this city, my favorite one was you.
Closing on with a hot damn, that was Christopher Daniels.
With a poet proverbial pimp slap.
Christopher Daniels.
Alright. I smell a pizza, so that's getting me in the mood here.
Ooh, in the mood.
In the mood.
Yeah, baby. You say we throw on a pizza and
Oregano gets me.
get down to it.
That little nub.
And maybe turn on the Playboy channel in Spanish.
Hold on.
How about put a little extra Italian sausage on that?
Oh God. Oh God. No.
Yeah, baby.
That just sounds like a
That
70s.
sounds like every stupid porno I've heard. You want a little bit extra sausage with that, baby?
Ma'am, can you, the delivery guy, ma'am, could you sign here for your package? And he holds it like down here across the table.
For right here.
It's an inch sausage. You want your salami with that?
Oh, but I'm barely dressed.
We have a tiny group of people back there going,
You might not want to
dear
use that
God, when is this going to be over?
And so, like, do women really answer the door in their negligee? You know? Oh. Speaking of negligees.
Well, I'm sure Joe B here can tell us of his many conquests.
Speaking of skimpy underwear, Joe B.
Tell us when you were a pizza boy, Joe.
No, he was a low-budget stripper.
/ pizza boy.
I thought this was the optometrist. They're closed, so I just came in here. I thought this was another room.
There's the chart right behind you.
Right here, look to
I'll see y'all later.
Oh my God. Woo.
Oh shit.
Okay.
We suck.
Yeah. But at least we have fun sucking. Dun-dun-dun.
That's what she said.
Okay, we need to thank our feature, Marcy.
Oh, Tom's ninja. See, we say ninja because he lasers out of here like a ninja would. He's
But
gone.
at the same time, he dresses like a traffic cone, so it's hard to miss him.
But yes, Marcy Ian's our feature.
Woo! Who braved snow, sleet, and hail to get here.
And tornadoes and hurricanes and falling asteroids. Oh, speaking of asteroids, the satellite that landed on that comet, which is incredible that we as civilization landed on a comet. Its battery's not charging anymore because the legs failed to deploy and it kind of bounced off of it at first approach. And then it finally settled, but it settled to where it's not getting enough sun on the solar panels.
His kingdom for USB.
So it only charges like for an hour and a half, a day, and it needs like a 12-hour charge, so it's gone into sleep mode. And it's still there, but
One small step for man,
they're gonna
one giant leap for mankind.
They're gonna have to wait for a while, I guess, for it to charge.
Landed.
Oh God,
That's incredible.
He's looking it up.
You know what? Before she winds up having to stay the night.
He's looking it up.
Kim Kardashian.
No.
Oh God, no.
We're talking about achievements.
Kardashian's ass is Kanye.
We're talking about achievements, not the world's embarrassment.
We're talking about asteroids and not asses we'd rather not land on.
Okay, and then we also need to thank everybody that braved the cold to be here. And we need to thank Alex, who is making that delicious smelling pizza. And who helped
With the extra Italian
the
sausage.
hot tamale cocoa become a reality, which was really yummy.
And my emergency smoothie, which is very good.
That nobody ordered.
Ordering a cold drink in 30-degree weather. This is him.
But yes, and you wonderful, beautiful people.
I like to thank her for whipping up this cold Bud Light for me from scratch.
Okay.
Wow. Tastes just like it.
And we need to thank Element, who is in his snazzy, yet classy, yet utilitarian role.
Who's thinking about quitting his own open mic because he can't deal with us anymore.
I'm a little tired, so I'm gonna put this microphone in my shirt pocket.
Listen, I'll turn it up. Move it around a little bit.
See, that makes me think of the scene from Naked Gun. When
No wait, I want to hear what. Wait, I want to hear what the microphone sounds like inside his shirt pocket. Move it around. You're inside Joby's pocket.
Table.
It's never gonna not be awkward.
Ooh, you like
Careful, you might stimulate.
It is time to go.
It was rubbing right here.
It is time to shut this mother down right now.
You liked it too much.
Inadvertently stimulated.
Shall we shut it down?
Yeah.
Yes, we
All
can.
right, you have been witness to the best, the baddest open mic in the ATX, spoken and heard live every Sunday night at Kickback Coffee Music and Booze.
Damn.
It is not just an open mic.